Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you were able to get out in nature, and Starlight did. She did. It was a very short walk, but I did get out. My GPS brought me somewhere, and I was like, wow, this is a very short trail. But I did get out, and I had to hurry up and get back here because, you know, the time is flying. And anyway, I really hope you were able to get out today. It was such a beautiful day outside, and I'm not sure what tomorrow's weather is going to be like. But anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And I hope you were able to get outside somewhere in nature and get some air. Not only that, I hope you are taking really good care of yourself and give yourself a big hug, because you really need one. You know, Starlight is, you know, like on her own here in a way. You know, like I don't have anybody with me right here, but you know, there's nothing wrong if you are single or you're kind of by yourself at the moment, is to give yourself a hug. You know, you deserve it. And some of you might have to give yourself a hug. You might be in a relationship, but maybe they're not really there. That does happen. Maybe you're having problems with your loved one, you know, the husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, but you know what? That means you still have to love yourself, you know. So even if they don't hug you, give yourself a big old hug. And Starlight, I think, did this morning or last night. I believe it was this morning. I really needed a big hug, and I did. I hugged myself, and there's nothing wrong with that. So make sure you take time out for yourself first before you go out and help anybody else. And it takes a lot of focusing on that to remember, you know, take care of yourself, your own needs first. You know, if you need that alone time, you know, the quiet time, and I know some of you are probably, but Starlight, I got kids. Okay, I understand. Well, you know, when you drop your kids off at school, if they go out to public school, you know, find some time, or maybe when they go to bed, get that alone time, you know, to yourself. You really deserve it, and you really, it's so important to have, you know, a moment of peace and quiet somewhere throughout the day. And anyway, I really love all of you. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you could find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman. Plus, you can, if you want to see the change in the world, and not just see the change in the world, but be that change in the world, you can give this video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And don't forget to push the notification bell. That way you do not miss any of Starlight's videos. Plus, you can also find me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So anyway, I send my love out to all of you. Today's video is, I don't really have a lot of videos. I think I might have touched this before, and I don't remember how long I did this video before on Facebook, but it's never going to be the same. You know, it's going to be the same topic. It's not going to be the same title. I'm not ever, you know, going to repeat the same stuff I did before. So it's all going to be all brand new. But I dealt with this years ago, and a beautiful deep diver out there helped Starlight to see where she needed work on, and I did. I worked on these areas. So, and this is about, what are you afraid of? You know what? I'm not afraid of anything, Starlight. What was that? I'm not afraid of anything, Starlight. Whatever. I bet you're afraid of something. You know, we're all, I believe we all fall in that category, at least to some extreme or not. You know, some people are afraid to let people in their heart space. Some people are afraid, like I was afraid to drive. I mean, I got my license when I was 25 years old, you know, and where did Starlight drive? Really, she never drove very far. She was always afraid to go anywhere. And I broke that fear more than a year ago from now, and now I don't even think about it. So Starlight is really, thinking about doing something coming up soon. So I'm just taking day by day, and I'm not going to announce anything here until I know that I'm going to do this. I really need to do this. So I just don't know what day I am going to do this. So anyway, and I was afraid of driving, like I said, and when I had my own apartment, it's kind of weird. I was single for years, and I did go on a couple of dating apps, and Starlight was such a goof. Is I would go on a dating app looking, to make friends. Starlight wasn't looking for a boyfriend. Absolutely not. Nope, I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. I was looking to make a friend to see if we had anything in common, then to take things to the next level. I absolutely was in no rush to jump into anything serious. I just was looking for a friend, and I'm not going to go into the other things that I could talk about dating apps. I'd really just want to stay to what I'm talking about right here as far as today's topic. And what I was doing on the dating app is, because I lived in the Albany area at that time, the surrounding parts of Albany, I didn't want to say, hey, this is where I live. I wanted to kind of keep that private. So I said, searching for men in the Albany, New York area. So I would get lots of men writing back to me. Of course, most of them never read my profile or didn't even notice the caption that said, searching for men in the Albany area, Albany, New York area. So it was kind of funny. I did get men that was out of state say, hey, I would love to meet you or get to know you, or I want to be a boyfriend, or whatever their lines were. And I didn't know what area they were from, so I would Google, wonder where they are from. And so I would Google on my phone and say, well, how far, I'm just going to name a place, how far is Kingston, New York to Albany, New York? We're just going to say Albany. And once I found out how many minutes, I'm like, they're further than a half hour away. I can't do it. So I was always trying to get guys to, I was like, how am I going to meet this person? I'm interested. I would read their profile, and I wanted to meet them. And I really believe in going halfway with a lot of stuff with when it comes to relationships, or even trying to be a friend, to do half, 50-50 kind of thing, at least for just looking for a friend, at least to start off with. So I'm like, hey, can you come to my area? And I didn't want to really meet them like halfway. I really just kind of wanted them to meet me like 10 minutes away from where I lived. And, I did get a lot of comments from some men, and like, well, you're never going to find anyone if you're just looking for somebody only. So it is kind of funny, as this person or people, men, did have a good point. It's like, okay, Starlight, so, you just want, like, what's the likelihood? I'm not saying that you can't meet somebody like a half hour away from your house, but what are you going to, not that you can't meet, so, oh yeah, you can meet a lot of people, but what kind of people and who are they? Are you going to be meeting? Are they the kind that you're even, do you have anything in common? Are you going to have any interest? Are you going to even be attracted? Is there going to be anything that's going to, like for a serious long-term relationship? But anyway, I did break that fear. And, now I am not afraid. Now I do. I want to travel. I do. I want to go places now. Now, I really do. I am like, God is doing stuff in my life, and I'm just amazed every day. I never know what God is going to do next, what the universe is going to do next, and what God is going to show me next. I've had a lot of eye-openers since I've been in this situation. And so I'm here to ask you, what holds you back? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid to ask that girl out? Or, hey ladies, it's not just the guy's job. to reach out. And if you are interested in someone, and I'm not talking about looks, but there's times that we can feel each other's energies, and it has nothing to do with their outward appearance. It's just like, I feel like peaceful around this person. I've met a couple of the men in this throughout this time right now where they got this peaceful, like just calm, relaxing energy, and I'm like, I like that feeling, and then you can meet other guys or women that it's not that way, where you're like I, it's kind of weird. I had a person today, I went to a park to eat like a quick lunch, and I kind of got caught. Starlight went out in the bushes to, hey, I had to go pee. And I get back up. I didn't know that there was somebody in the vehicle, and I come running back out after I went to the bathroom. I get in my car, and I was talking to the crows, didn't even know that there was somebody in their vehicle. And, this is when you just don't know how to. I just watched a great video today about energies, picking up strange energies or creepy energies from people or whatever, and this was one of those creepy moments, where the guy doesn't know me, but he backed his vehicle up and pulled right next to me and just sat there and smiled at me, and I was like, creeper moment, it just wasn't cool for me. So what are you afraid of? Are you afraid to, ladies, are you afraid to ask that guy out? Starlight really has not asked a whole lot of men in her out in life. Most of the time is that I really wasn't interested in any of them. But I have to say, my whole life, I believe I've only asked 2 men out. My whole life. So the second one is the second one, I was amazed, that I had the courage to ask that particular male, let him know that I was interested. Like I want to get to know you kind of thing, and that is a big, brave moment there when you are able to break that fear and let that person know. It wasn't in person, but, they knew what I looked like, and I definitely knew what they looked, I say they, he looked like, and it is a brave step. Some people might really love someone, but they're afraid of commitment. You got those ones out there. Guys are, could be afraid of commitment with a girl, or they just, they might want to go out with her. They might even live with her, but they're afraid of the next step is to get married to her. And same with girls. There's girls that might have gone through marriages before and had divorces, and same with men, where they could have, gone through a bad fallout, especially when you have children. That is tough, where it does involve everyone in the family, not just the couple. Some of you, might be afraid to go for that job. You're like, I desire that job. I want to go to that, get that job, and but you might not think you're capable of that job, and then your mind goes, plays you and tells you that you can't get that job and you don't qualify for that job, and so you just listen to those lies in your mind and never go for it. Where that is a part of fear, where you just letting all those thoughts that you think are your thoughts that are not your thoughts. What about let's see. What are people afraid of? Like learning how to swim. There's people out there that are afraid to learn how to swim. Starlight would love to do more adventurous things in her life. There's the scariest thing I have to say has been skiing. Wow. And once you get to go down the hill all on your own, of course I had the poles with me. That is a thrill of a lifetime right there, is to learn how to ski down a hill. And I was learning that before COVID. So I was having the thrill of my life. Other scary things Starlight would love to learn, and I've never done that. I heard this on the radio. This is kind of why I was thinking about this topic today, besides some things that I am going through right now, is like skydiving. they were just mentioning how costly it is to skydive, but whew, actually I had like life insurance before, and they asked me, do you go skydiving? Because apparently if I was going to skydive, I don't think I would have been able to get those life insurance. I wonder why. Some people are afraid to go on a plane. I do know a man that oopsie, this is a little, sorry about this, that was so afraid to go on a plane. It was so funny. I used to go to dinner, I can't even call that person a friend, but somebody that I did business with, put it that way, is, we would go out to dinner, and it was hilarious. I heard stories about this man from somebody else, and they were telling me how they would go for a walk, and if a plane went over his head in the sky, the guy would like, like duck a little bit, and apparently he had a lot of nightmares of planes, and that's why he has the fear of going in an airplane. He might never ever know what it's like to fly an airplane. That definitely was not a fear for Starlight, because I always wanted to get up in the sky. I wanted to be like a bird, to be up in the air, like even in my UFO that I have that in the back of my yard. Starlight has been in many UFOs. So yes, Starlight's half alien and human. Did I say that? Spirit being, So anyway, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid? Okay. When COVID came, I seen a guy today, and I feel so bad. I gave him a whole bunch of masks. I don't know if I did it when he wasn't looking, but I kind of snuck a whole package of masks because his mask was really dirty. He really needed a new one, and he got some kind of problem going on with him. And I tried to talk to him, but he didn't want to talk, so I just kind of snuck those masks on his backpack. That way he could have those. But there's people out there that got really affected with the COVID, and still today now, because people are hearing more about COVID now or whatever, and even in this library and the other library I go to, is that now there's people that go to the library that work there that are putting their mask on, and now they're not wearing the ones that Starlight was wearing as the hospital kind. Now they're wearing the other kind, and so some people, when they hear about COVID, they got the mask back on, and because they've been brainwashed before with COVID, and they planted fear all over with the news, like you couldn't get anywhere, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing about COVID, and a lot of people were sending their fears on to everybody else. Recently I had a man that I know on Facebook, and he's a Catholic person, and he wasn't wearing a mask, and then he got COVID, and then he decides, hey, I'm going to call up Starlight and tell her, you better wear your mask, Starlight, you better wear that until, but then, it's just so funny. I hear people talk, and, they will tell me certain things of what they expect out of me, but then they go totally against everything that they were telling me, and it's okay for them to do stuff, but and then they're telling me what to do and say, you better wear your mask all the way up until March. I don't have to wear my mask. I am good, so 333 is funny. I've been getting that number I just earlier today, but that was 4 3s. So anyway, I am into numbers. If you don't know, I did put a video out yesterday. Have you seen these numbers? So you ought to check that out, because numbers have meaning. So check out my playlist. It's going to be the video that I just put out yesterday. You'll see Starlight standing there with a whole bunch of numbers. Repeated numbers is really what you want to look out for, or numbers that stand out. But anyway, back to the fear. So some people, like I wasn't afraid to drive my car, I just was afraid of going out of my area. I would like, oh, how far? That's a 45-minute drive. How about, like, are you afraid to start all over somewhere. You know, maybe you want to travel around the world and or move somewhere, but you're afraid. You know, you're afraid of the unknown. That's really what gets people, is the unknown. Afraid of the unknown. You don't know what to expect. You know, what else are people afraid of? Some people are afraid to go in the woods. They're afraid of the bears or the coyotes or wolves. You know, they're afraid. I have met many people that are like, oh, you Starlight, you go in the woods all by yourself? Are you afraid? Aren't you afraid you're going to get lost? Are you afraid that there's bears in there, Starlight? You know, and I actually have gone where they actually have signs that says, you know, beware, there's bears that go in this woods. I mean, that's the first thing you see, you know, to kind of, so I was with my daughter and her boyfriend, and, you know, I was making jokes all the way through, laughing my butt off about that, but of course the bears were in there listening to her Starlight's jokes, like, Starlight, that's not funny. But I was just like a character that day. Tigger definitely was out that day. There are people they're afraid of the woods. You know, and I have to let you know is that all these fears are really, we make these fears happen. You know, it's like something that grows bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, and it's not really, it's your imagination a lot of times that you're, you know, like with people afraid of going in the woods and fearing that, you know, a bear is going to come out, you know, it's unlikely that that's going to happen. And, you know, there's a lot of areas that bears do go. They're afraid of you. You know, they are afraid of you. They don't want to, they see you, they're like, I don't want nothing to do with these people. But now I know that there's areas that they get hungry and there's been bear attacks. But, you know, there's things, you know, that do happen sometimes out in the middle of somewhere. But, you know, I am sorry to say this, when it's your time, it's your time. You know, if it's, you know, like if it's not your time, you're going to still be around. That's why I don't live in fear right now, is I'm like, you know, I get people planting fear in my life and saying, oh, Starlight, you better wear a mask. Oh, Starlight, don't go in the woods, girl. I'm worried about you. Or Starlight, you should not be living in your car. You know, people planting fear in my head all the time. It's like, leave me alone. You know, I don't plant fear in your mind. You know, I don't say, hey, you ought to be careful of this or that. But there is times, you know, like you do have to, you know, like be safe. You don't want to do stuff that is, you know, people do some things that are not safe, and you definitely could die. You know, like when you go out hiking, there could be a big cliff, and there'll be a sign that says, do not pass this line here, you know, because the cliff is there, and, you know, it's a down drop, or like jumping off waterfalls, you know, where there's places that, you know, it says no swimming or no diving, and then, you know, there's people that will go there and dive off these areas or jump in those areas or fall in those areas, and yeah, things do happen because there's a warning that says, do not do this, and they ignored it, you know. And I do know a place where I used to grow up in Wintergreen, and they have a Wintergreen Falls out in Canajoharie, New York, and, you know, in that area there's been people, I don't know how many people, but there's a place, imagine this, this is a joke, but it really is really real, is a long time ago at this place where I used to grow up, is there was a place near Wintergreen, and there's a stream of water, and imagine this, it's called well, there's two places, the names of them are so funny, and there's reasons why they named these places these names. One is called the Snake Hole, and the other one is called the Devil's Hole. So the reason is of course, why do you think they call it the Snake Hole? And it is weird that my daughter and I went swimming in that one. Yep, Starlight's really not afraid of snakes, but I really don't want to be swimming with them. And the Devil's Hole is the reason why they say it's the Devil's Hole and let people still swim there today is because it's it's a cool, beautiful swim. There's cliffs all the way around it. You can actually kind of duck around into or whatever. But right in the center of the Devil's Hole, the current is so strong that it could pull you in. So Starlight does go, I have gone swimming in there, but I try to always avoid that center spot, just to kind of keep it safe. But if it was my time, and God's like, oh, but I know it's not my time. God's got a lot of work for Starlight. So, and that makes it easier for me not to live in fear, because I'm like, God's needs me right now. God's not going to take me out of here right now. My time is not right now. But it doesn't mean that I need to do foolish things like going for, some people might be afraid of running a train. I've never been on a train. I'm trying to think of what I would be afraid of. Things, there's, I wouldn't mind trying things connected to get. I love watching movies that do that. Some people are afraid of going camping, like I said about going out in the woods. So what are you afraid of? Are you afraid to try certain foods? Some people they are. I've met them. I'm like, they don't like certain textures, or colors. My son thought, like split pea soup, split green pea soup, I mean. That is a funky color and mushy looking, and, he didn't really want nothing to do with it, but he tried it, and he was so impressed. He was like, wow, this stuff tastes really good. It looks gross, it looks like, I'm trying to think, they had this TV show, and it kind of reminds me of that, is, what is the name of the show? Starlight's memory's getting so much better, is, slime. It's like kind of like a slime, but not slime, but it's that color. It's kind of funny. But some people are afraid to try and taste different things. I don't know why. Give me something. As long as it doesn't have meat. Well, now I got a vegan diet, where I don't eat meat. I don't want nothing. I am good. I love my animals. I get a lot of people in my area there. I say, I don't eat meat. Please do not put that on my plate. And, I get a lot of stares, because I'm like a rare case out here in this community. So what are the things that really stop you? Maybe you're afraid to work on yourself, to find out who you are. Are you afraid to use your voice? Starlight needs a microphone. Do you have a microphone, a battery operated microphone? Are you afraid to use your voice? Are you afraid to speak up for yourself and stand up for yourself, or to stand up for others? And it's kind of funny that I am doing this, because whether you know this or not, when Starlight was really young, because I didn't have an education, when I got out of school, I was 16 years old when I got done with school, and Starlight really could not even form a sentence. So when I started out, I really did. I had a hard time communicating with people, and a lot of times when I did talk, it didn't really make sense. I didn't even, I wasn't being taught right, and I didn't have any education at home. It was only at school. And so I am proud of who I am and how far I came now look at me. I'm on YouTube using my voice for other people, for people that don't have a voice. Are you afraid to, speak up to an officer? I spoke up to one the other night here at the library. I was told that, the library was getting closed, and I looked at my phone wrong. And not that I was challenging the police officer that patrols this, a security guy, a cop. And I just, went out there, and I'm like, hey, I thought it was closed, like at this time. And he let me know, hey, it's closed at this time. But believe me, Starlight never would speak up, where now I'm not afraid of police officers anymore. I had the fear of police officers most of my life, because before, Starlight was always running away from them or doing something Starlight, why were you, well, I believe that God gave me the free will to do that. It said that God gave me the herbs in the field, you know, hey, yeah, I was doing it, you know, so I was running away from hiding, you know, like didn't want to get caught smoking marijuana or, you know, drinking when I wasn't supposed to at times when I was younger. So, but now I'm not afraid of officers. Here's another one, is because we've been lied to. I was afraid of different people for the race, you know, different people with different colored skin. And now I'm not. Now I introduce myself. I'm always saying hi. I'm very outgoing. You know, now I'm not afraid of those people anymore. It's because we've been afraid of other people, even if they came from another country. You know, just because they don't look like you or, you know, speak like you, it doesn't mean that they're evil and they're rotten and, you know, that they're no good. You know, because, you know what, it's beautiful. I see it all over. I observe all this everywhere. Everywhere I go, I look around and I see a lot more different mixed races, and there's no such thing as a race. It's all an illusion. That's where we've been trying to, you know, they've been trying to get us separate and all spirit beings having a human do something. And you know, I just gave a lady today, somebody gave me some cake and Starlight took it, you know, because I always want to give it to somebody else. I'm not going to eat it, but it's a beautiful cake. I would love to eat it, you know, carrot cake. But you know, like without the sugar, I don't want to eat that anymore. So all my goodies I give away, I just go out and give it, you know, I go out and I did. I was able to give some lady, she didn't, you know, it's beautiful. You know, I made her day. You know, is so if you are afraid of other people, please don't be really be imagine how you would feel, you know, that people give you a dirty look, and a lot of people do. You know, I am learning now, and I've been doing this for like more than a year now, is I have been going out purposely looking at everyone. Eye contact. I do. I work on it. Are you afraid to look me in the eye out in public? You know, don't be afraid to look at people in the eyes. A lot of times people look and they just turn away. You know, they see a certain person in a certain color and they don't even want to give eye contact. They see them and do you think that those people don't notice that? They notice that. So please, you know, be considerate of other people. And there's no one better than anybody. Nobody's perfect out there. You know, we all have armpits and we all take a dump. You know, so we are far from being perfect. You know, there's nobody perfect, and there's some people that are pushing that on other people, you know, about like acting like I need to be perfect. And no, I'm not going to go in that route anymore. I tried my whole life in trying to be perfect, and, you know, I am letting go of that. And so whatever fear is stopping you is, you know, like really face your fears. Don't let other people scare you. Don't let other people plant their fears into you. You know, be brave, be courageous, you know, face those fears right on, and, you know, you'll be amazed about all the things that you'll be able to experience in life. You know, you never know. You might fall in love with somebody, you know, from another country or, you know, a different race. You know, like I said, it's not a race. It's that we are all family. We're all one. We came from the same source, whether you believe that or not. And, you know, we are all powerful. We're all kings and queens. So let's start treating each other like we are powerful and that we are family and that we are special. We are kings and queens. So anyway, I do love all of you, and I really hope you get a lot of help from this video. You can give this video a thumbs up. That is if you want to see a change of the world or be a change of the world. Plus, don't be afraid. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Say hello. Starlight is very friendly and outgoing. She would love to hear from you. Plus, don't forget the notification bell and push that button so that way you don't miss anything. You just never know what I'm going to have. You know, there's times I talk about a little bit of this and that in some of my videos, so you just never know what is each one. Also, don't forget you can follow me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. And see, Starlight has been, you know, like I forgot about my earrings, so I've been picking out earrings. And I have to say, it takes me a long time to do my hair. I kind of sneak in bathrooms everywhere, and sometimes I have to do my hair a little bit in one and jump out and go somewhere else and do my hair. So it's an all-day job to look good in this situation. So I just want to let you know that it does take a lot of work to do, but I do this because I love you and I love myself. So anyway, give yourself a hug. And anyway, this is Starlight. This is Starlight, Love, Light, and